first point is what are you passionate about? And I call it commercializing passion. And this is your time now, guys.
What do you see as some of the career opportunities, either post this pandemic or just going forward in general?
Perfect. So I just want to give you some stats, Sam. I received a research survey today, quite interesting, from All Told Research, and they've been doing COVID research week on week. And they interview a panel of 1,500 people. And I just want to show you, or just give you an example. There's a rising fear week on week of people's loss of earnings, it's 90% of the whole panel say that I fear losing money now. And money is so dear. We kind of know that between our banking days. Money is the most emotional thing. And I always go to my team, if someone pays you 10 Rand less, you are going to freak out because it's in money's. If you are left with 10 Rand extra on a bill that you go out with friends with, you feel it. You get annoyed. Money's emotional. And the majority of the panel, they fear more loss of earnings than mass debts. So let that land. Is actually the biggest play here with COVID than anything. And then there are consistent fears that, unfortunately, what's going to impact COVID, and I've been following this, and I think this is why we started talking about it, is mental wellness and depression is going to be a huge inhibitor to work function and performance on one side. What's going to happen is people are going to start questioning their self-worth. And sorry, I'm going in a roundabout way to get to the point that we're going to discuss. People are going to start questioning their self-worth and their purpose. Because when you're in depression, and one of the biggest or common things on depression is I don't have a sense of worth anymore. And this is something I'm stressing to all the listeners. Start identifying your self-worth and what makes you tick, because this is going to be one of the biggest drivers, because it actually may not be your current job. It may not be your current business idea. Because if we have to look at it, I'm finding this silver lining here. And we started chatting about this the other day, where we go, this can be seen as a pandemic where I go, I'm going to stay in my bubble. I'm going to stay in my job. I'm not going to start my business. I'm staying in it. Or you can find a huge opportunity here to go, the first thing I've questioned is, how have consumers or customers changed? How will the customer base and consumer interactions come through? And what do consumers and customers want and need? And it brings me to the rest of this research is, let's look at the opportunities that arise. We are finding more online shopping happening. It's an opportunity for startups. We are finding that more people, and these are the top lockdown activities, guys, housework, so cleaning, spring, listening to music, exercising, gardening, binge watching TV. So TV's not dead, guys, whoever thinks about that. Listening to radio, DIY projects, and baking or cooking. So I've just given you the top 10 activities that are happening now, week, what are we, week six of this lockdown. And it's basically saying that if I'm an entrepreneur or I'm working for someone and I'm passionate about baking, and I've used the food example because that's me, I've always wanted to land a food platform. And I think anyone who knows me or follows me on social media knows that I'm a feeder. And I guess I'm not having a Sports Illustrated body for that. I think the biggest thing is, the cool thing here is I'm passionate about food, and I always wanted to know how to package my food platform. Here comes COVID, and COVID says, stay at home, be with your family. Sadika's biggest passion was always doing home cooking, and I believe that food is a conduit to bringing people together, whether it's friends cooking together, whether it's families cooking together, because I find that we're not eating together anymore. We're taking a microwave dinner, or we're ordering Uber Eats, and we're just sitting in front of the TV. Whereas food, one is a conduit for creativity and a venting. When you're so stressed on one side, food is this avenue. And I identified that maybe now is the time to start landing my food ideas and platform, because there's this whole thing of, there's a need for more inspiration. People are fearful. And here's that whole thing I spoke about, the customer insight. What does the customer want? People are afraid of the kitchen. So that's why they order out, especially Gautengers millennials. I'll either order Uber Eats. So then what does this mean? Should it mean that Sadika should be doing more meal and doing an online service that delivers meal kits? are the questions I'm questioning myself on right now. So I've seen it as an opportunity, but I've based it on consumer insight. And is that not strategy 101? You base it on a consumer insight and find the opportunity. So I think that, I've just given you the opportunities. Gardening services, for example.
Yeah.
People don't, I don't know how to plant herbs. And my granddad was a farmer, and I would kill the first plant. And now more people are going to be doing gardening. So
Yeah.
gardening app right now, how to grow your own herbs, your own hanging walls. And start looking at this and the opportunities when tech comes in with the real life, and not tech for the sake of tech, helpful, purposeful things. Here's an opportunity. I don't believe our current titles will stay the same. And I look at my title. 20 years ago, there was no head of media corporate. I
Yeah.
don't even think head of media in the next 10 years or next 5 years. I think my role will fundamentally change. And here's your first piece. You shouldn't be driven by the title. You should be driven by, the first point is what are you passionate about? And I call it commercializing passion. And this is your
Yes.
time now, guys. This is your time to go, I've got my current 9 to 5. What am I passionate about? Is it food? Is it gardening? Is it music production? Is it henna? Is it makeup? What am I really passionate about now? And how do I find a commercial link or an angle to it? And who do I start and partnering with to start getting this? This is not about startup income and funding. I had no startup income. All my pictures are taken. If you follow my social platforms, they're all taken on a phone. I have not had any formal. So I've gone onto YouTube, I've gone onto Instagram, and I've looked at the top food bloggers, and I've gone, how do I find my own food style, for example? How do you find your own style, your own makeup style, your own leadership platform like this one? And how do you start identifying ways to commercialize it? Because we're also not in this the CSI initiatives. We need to learn how to our passions, because we don't want our families to call us hipsters at the end, right?
Yes.
Because we are can be commercial
at heart.
hipsters. Yes, at heart.
Yes.
And I married a billionaire hipster. One day it'll pay off, right?
Yes.
As well. So this whole thing here is, how do you identify? And guys, be as close to your passion as possible. Make it work. Dream of becoming a chef many years ago, but I haven't given up on my whole thing of commercializing food. I was told that there's no money in food, and I did the stupid girls BCom. That's what I was told about from my family.
Yeah.
I said to myself, I'm not letting this passion go, because I believe there's an opportunity with it. And now, go and tell Gordon Ramsay there's no money in food. Go and tell Master Chef the production. There's no, so there's money in anything I believe that you're passionate about. 1, 2, I believe there's money in anything that is purposeful and bigger than you.
Definitely.
And this is of purposeful brands and purposeful marketing is going to come out. So we've seen now this whole thing of everyone doing face masks, okay? Because now there's a need for it. And it's now I challenge the entrepreneurs out there, or the side hustlers out there. What is more purposeful right now? I challenge the leaders in our industry, especially media, PR, advertising. There's right now nothing that has a platform for wellness for our industry. And that's something I want to work on. Who talks about depression in our industry? We just carry on. We and when I came to corporate from agency, I said, whoa, okay.
Sure.
I didn't realize maybe I wasn't taking care of myself.
Yes.
So it's those, what do people want and need, and how do you commercialize it? Your title, it's going to change. There's going to be a growth as well, I foresee, in consultants. So, and this is where I said that this could be another topic for another day or month, about in-house, or the agency model will fundamentally shift. You may find a lot more insourcing happening with consultants growing, or the need for consultants growing. So I'm a media specialist, for example, or integrated channel strategy person. You may find brands or small businesses who can't afford agencies will bring a consultant in to land their media strategy, and then they'll get out. And kind of syndicates of specialists. That's what I'm also seeing. And something very similar to what you seek inside perspective. You have 5 or 6 specialists in different fields, and I'm starting to see kind of syndicate specialists coming in and going in for a project, and not a whole business. They go in, land a project, and come out. They commercialize, and they move on to the next one. So I'm seeing group holding companies, and that's similar to kind of Heman's company, where he lands multiple projects under his group holding company. It's not just one just focused on food. One of his projects are food, one of his projects are philanthropy. So it's the whole thing of syndicate solutions and syndicate specialists I'm seeing as huge opportunities during the COVID pandemic and going forward.